You're still watching Ways. An interesting day. Men Make Dinner Day was established to help those men that have perhaps never cooked outside of a barbecue and are a little intimidated by the kitchen. Sandy Shake, who was responsible for the creation of this day, determined that men could be amazing in the kitchen and help to produce some truly tremendous meals as good or even better than women. They'd met far too many men who were not just inexperienced in the kitchen, but were in fact entirely afraid of the prospect of approaching a kitchen with the intent of preparing a meal. So Men Make Dinner Day is your opportunity to get out in front of the barbecue and truly amaze your family with a great meal. I love this day. Because of the topic we're talking about, I chose this day. But I don't know how a man will not know how to cook in this city. You will die of starvation.
And they know how to eat. They always eat a lot.
I mean, these days, isn't it easier though for men not to know? Like, you can pretty much order everything these days. So
yeah.
I think it's bad that a man should know how to cook, but
woman should know how to cook.
Yeah, everybody should know how to cook. But I mean, in context, I think
you can just order.
Yeah.
What if you don't have money to be ordering? You don't
so
know.
You learn how to cook, right?
Everybody, I think, can make noodles.
Yeah, they can make white rice.
That's the escape.
Everybody can make noodles.
Noodles.
White rice even takes some doing, but I think everybody can make noodles. I mean, if you can't boil it, you can soak it. So
there's Gary.
Okay, so who are we starting with? Let me start with you, Utsi. Do we have Milola now? Not sure.
Yeah.
Hi, Milola.
Hi, Marie. Hi, Uwa. Hi, Utsi. Happy birthday to you, Uwa. Long life and prosperity, my darling.
Thank you, my love.
Aren't you blushing? How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. All right, so let me start with Utsi, then I'll come to you, Milola, for what you found in the news.
Okay, so mine is, I mean, I was going to take an update on the collapse, but I thought, no, today's a happy day. So my headline says, Pope appoints first woman to lead a Vatican governorate. So this is, for me, an awesome story, because we know that in the church, women typically, or well, in the Catholic Church, right, women don't play more senior roles. So for the first time, he's appointed a woman to a high office in the state administration of the Vatican. So her name is Sister Raffaella Petrini, and she was named the Secretary General of the Governorate of the Vatican City, the Holy See. She's the first woman to hold the second highest office in the governorate, and she will oversee the Vatican museums and Vatican state services, including the Mint and the motor pool. So essentially, for me, this is a huge story because in the past few months, he's been adding more and more women to his leadership team. So he, earlier this year, he had Natalie Beckett, who was the first woman in the history of the Catholic Church to serve as the Undersecretary in the Synods of Bishops. Then she also had Sister Alessandra Smarilli as an interim secretary of the Dicastery for promoting integral human development. So just in an area where we typically don't see women taking on these kind of roles, he's made a concerted effort.
I didn't know the Catholics were that patriarchal.
Well, so I think just in terms of the role, so it's always been the Reverend Fathers and then the nuns and the sisters. So we've never had that sort of, it's not like, I think it's the Anglican Church now where the women can be priests and that. So yeah, so this is a huge step forward for women.
I mean, we're talking globally, women are
they're represented everywhere, but
so
globally,
so for this to happen, this is actually going to be a major shift.
Yeah, it is
a major shift, and it would impact on the fight around equality, inclusion, and equity, and all of that.
And the first one's always the hardest. So we hope that we'll continue to see more and more women being put into roles like this.
Absolutely. So Milola, what did you find for us in the news?
Yeah, what I have in the news is about an update on the Ikoyi building collapse. And it gives a report that the death toll rises to 36. It's official that 36 people have been found confirmed dead, including the owner of the property. That is 33 male and 3 female. It's quite an unfortunate incident. But then we have that was released by the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, the coordinator for Southwest, Ibrahim Fariloye. He gave an update on Thursday that the building that crumbled around 2 p.m. when workers were on site. Mr. Fariloye said the bodies include 33 male and 3 females. He said 9 people, which include 1 female and 8 male, have been rescued. During his visit to the scene on Wednesday, the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, noted that of the 9 survivors, 6 are still in the hospital, while 3 with minor injuries have been discharged. He said the numbers of persons buried in the debris are still unconfirmed. As I have said, we don't have a manifest. Anybody you think that came here to work or is a worker here, we would take down their names. It's unfortunate, really. This is just an update on that crisis. But what really broke my heart, just like we talked about during the last session on Tuesday, is that there is no manifest to give an account of people working on site. And it's unfortunate that although such things are not preempted, but it makes sense that we start to put measures in place to ensure safety of people on site by taking the due diligence of proper accounting of every staff member present on such site. So that's what I have in the news.
All right, thanks. I'll just pick up from there and just wrap it up, because also I watched the press briefing from the governor, and he had said that, so there's conflicting story. Some said 32, some said 36 people that are dead. I even had
38 also, but I've also found that because it's changing rapidly, you know, as the hours go by, they're finding more bodies and things like that. So this story would have been released a couple of hours, things have changed. So sadly, this is how this thing has happened. I mean, you know, it's like a living nightmare to have something like this happen. I think I was reading somewhere this morning that a pastor from the Redeemed Christian Church of God went to the site. He's an engineer, and he went to the site with 22 workers. And of the 23 of them, only 1 person has been found so far. So, well, as at this morning when I saw that story, only 1 person had been found. So it's scary to think the number of people that could have
even
been
an ex-colleague of mine was there too.
Wow.
Yeah, I kind of knew her personally, so I just really have been trying to not think about it. Because I don't know how to deal with it. I don't even have the mental strength for that right now. So I'm just really hoping that some miracle is going to happen and they'll just say they found her. And she literally just started like 3 days ago.
Oh wow!
It's terrible. Even 4 members apparently were affected as well.
Oh wow! You know, so because my story is actually the family members saying that they've not been given access to be able to see, because the ones that the people are in the hospital, they have not been granted access to even see the people in the hospital. So I just want everybody to be calm. At least for those that have been found that are in the hospital receiving treatment, it's also good that you do not how do I put it? Sometimes when an accident happens, because you can't see physical wound, a lot of things is happening internally. So it's good for you to just allow let the professionals in the hospital take care of them, so that they can be properly.
They've released their names now.
Yes, they've released the ones that are in the hospital. Even I saw the visit. The deputy governor, the governor, I think, visited all the people in the hospital. So a lot of them were saying that they haven't been allowed access, but hopefully, I'm sure, because I watched the press briefing this afternoon from the governor. He's addressing all of those issues one after the other, and he's asked for those people to give their names. Do you understand? Give their names of the people. They would find a way to put them on the list. I think they're already setting up some structure to be able to,
so it's not overwhelming.
All right, so it is well. All right, so we're going to take a break. When we return from the break, we want to talk money matters. Stay with us, we'll be right back.